Gotta say, if you think that a colored crystal for a toy lightsaber in a video game makes me any less depressed than I am, son, you live in a more hopeful life than I am. Okay, in recent Houndish news, we've discussed my upcoming job search, which I am still putting off because, well, it's kind of hard to sell yourself when you've spent 10 years being bad at video games and simultaneously all you do is complain about them. Of course, when I don't complain about video games, I'm being a shill, and when I do complain about video games, I need to get out of my parents' basement. Weren't you one of the people who ran with the baseless claim that Luke Smith was coming back? Actually, no, I wasn't. This thing happens really frequently, actually, on YouTube, where content creators will talk about a thing, and then you get folks who are genuinely confused and they think that you have spoken about the thing. The only time I touched on this particular subject was after Astacross had made a comment about the VOG designer returning to Destiny 2, where folks had speculated, oh my god, that's Luke Smith. And I think my wording was, there's actually no indication that that is the case. Stop calling me out for other people's shit. You're so late on covering this. Just like usual useless info that's already been posted. This was referencing DMG's tweet apology thing over the weekend, which I think I was actually the second person to post a video about it. So given that this comment was posted nearly a full day after I'd uploaded the video, yeah, maybe you should learn to read a watch or a calendar or anything, actually. On that subject though, a drunken midnight tweet is communication now. Tremendous. That did give me a chuckle. We should say for legal reasons, there's no evidence that this was a drunken tweet. It is hilarious though that it was pretty much the best piece of communication that we've had in like 2 months. Houndish, you are a dweeb. That is all. Short and sweet. I had a Chinese and I'm just punishing some porcelain while listening to Houndish. Feels good, man. Fucking never before have I heard the turn of phrase punishing some porcelain. But the AI reply suggestions were pretty good. Hope the meal was good. Sounds like a productive evening. Sounds like you had a better weekend than I did. This week on the Twid, Houndish yells. Well, if Bungie aren't going to put content in the Twid, then I f***ing well will. Tune in for some more on Thursday. Come on, Houndish. It's marathon, not marathon. Me being called out again on my weird way of talking. Marathon sounds like energy weight loss wafers for long distance runners. Leave it to Houndish for another hard R take. If you don't admit that Marathon is what decimated focus on D2, and that if an easier lift game like Marathon is successful, then D2 is completely screwed, then you are a liar, and not simply stupid. Never once have I claimed that Marathon has not taken resources away from Destiny 2, that's the first part. I do, however, appreciate what is a relative compliment, though, in being called not simply stupid. That's pretty much a win at this point in time. Looks like Houndish will soon be out of a job, if only he'd spoken against Bungie's horrible choices sooner. All I'll say on that subject is that, while basically no one will remember, I was one of the first people to call out the new gear system, concerns about the portal, the gear tiering, and various other things that landed with Edge of Fate. The folks who got to go and play that stuff early, not that I'm criticizing them, but they were relatively excited. I remember folks saying this is Destiny 3 levels of change. And at the time, people called me negative for saying that I thought featured gear was a bad idea. In contrast, when I post a piece of content which is actually a guide for Destiny, this was a loot guide for Lawless Frontier and Renegades stuff, people get jealous. It must be nice to have everything you already wanted, huh? Houndish. Gotta give content creators everything without having them work overtime for it. Bullshit manipulation game. And that was me trying to make a positive, useful video for the community. The only reason I referenced the stuff I had from Renegades was to demonstrate that, yeah, I've done it, right? Gotta say, if you think that a colored crystal for a toy lightsaber in a video game makes me any less f***ing depressed than I am, son, you live in a more hopeful life than I am. Destiny is so bad, Houndish is starting to become a Marathon channel. As I've said before, the only reason I'm interested in covering Marathon is because it's a Bungie game and it's going to have huge implications for Destiny and Bungie. But we're not going to talk anymore about Marathon right now because I don't want to be lynched. Houndish, let me out of your attic. No, the answer's no. Did Houndish really just buy a shader? I blew the internet up on the last weekly reset because I purchased a shader in the Eververse store. This was after me being called out by some folks who were disgusted at my lacking shader collection and simultaneously fat stacks of Bright Dust, although I've been bested there. Surprised I have more Bright Dust than you, Houndish. Almost 200,000. Dude, that's, congrats? I'm not even playing it down, dude, that's mad. Ash and Iron 2, Houndish Boogaloo. If you can't handle 30 FPS on D1, you are a fake gamer. Dude, some of these are bonkers. MF speaks like a late 90s loading screen. Is that, I'm lost. Thanks for the nice video. For some reason, I can't watch your videos in normal speed. I usually put ×3 speed just to be watchable. Keep up the good work. Again, the AI replies here. Glad it helps. And whatever works. Happy you enjoyed it. Thanks for the support. AI just does not understand sarcasm. Y'all are spoiled. You've had the game developer to yourself for almost 10 years. Let the game devs release another game. Don't get so salty. Okay, on this instance, I'll allow it, but not again. You gotta keep it simple, boys and girls. Houndish equals cringe. Someone tried their hand at mean comments here. Jay Wolfman said, keep up the good work, don't let the crybaby's tears make you too salty. Houndish, your voice is like the surface of the moon, boring, stale, and about as deep as the thoughts of a 5-year-old. The only people I'd recommend your videos to are parents who have kids that struggle to fall asleep. If I could match your voice to a hairstyle, it'd be bald. Not yet, my friend, but I'm working on it. Oh, Houndish, you're not Concord. You're at least Battleborn. Thank you. That's very nice. Houndish, how can you say it's free updates when people pay for the expansion of the same amount we used to pay, but with less content? What the f do you mean, free updates? It really spanned some people out when I said that Shadow and Order is technically a free update. Although I did recognize, yeah, we probably pay for it, right? Because the people putting the money into Bungie one way or another, yeah, we're paying for the rest of the content that's being produced. But in a literal sense, Shadow and Order is free. So if I had never purchased Renegades, when Shadow and Order releases in 2035 or whatever, I would be able to play it without purchasing anything else. Although I might have to buy a PC or an Xbox or something to actually play it on. Dude, you have a point. It's not free, is it? Fucking liars! Bungie have said repeatedly they have a multi-year plan. Maybe for the time being, get a real job. Yeah, keep me posted if you have any openings. Houndish, Marathon is not a big deal. That was a response to me saying that Bungie depend on Marathon's success to a significant degree. But that's plenty of folks say. Bungie are about to be folded into Sony or dissolved or loaded onto a space shuttle and catapulted to the moon if Marathon doesn't succeed. Contrasting points of view. Houndish casually jumping into someone else's behemoth. And you're correct, it was very casual. I probably wouldn't have knowingly done it. Probably. But you guys have recently watched me try and dunk a Tangle when I'm supposed to be carrying orbs in the Lawless Frontier. I literally don't know what's going on. Yay, nerf something because I'm bored of using it. Why not use something else, Houndish? No nerfs! There's really weird effects in the Destiny community when you talk about a weapon being nerfed or the likelihood of something like that happening. People immediately say, you're saying it should be nerfed, when that's literally something I don't think I've ever suggested ever. Bungie are too busy making Shadow and Order peak so they don't have time to explain why they can't make a roam map that explains. I have 3 times Hopium Surge mods on. That's the ultimate February 2026 survival build for Destiny 2 at the minute, isn't it? There we go. I'm finished. I'm done for the day. I'm going to go back down into my parents' basement and I'll probably jump on my second account and just craft toxic tweets. Oh my god, second account confirmed. That's the one I use to write daily mean comments on Astacross's channel. Secrets out. Get stuffed. Bye! Maybe when all this is over, I can get a job just sweeping the floors. What's up guys, Houndish here. Today we're jumping in with another Destiny 2 video. We've got a bunch of updates from Bungie, some apologies, some updates, some broken things, a couple of other updates, some really cool, interesting stuff that I find especially interesting. Also, don't forget to use code Houndish at checkout. When you buy Marathon, you can get 10% off. And you'll also unlock the exclusive shill emblem for Destiny 2. That way everyone will know what you've done. What have you done? You know what you've done. Finish it.